This demonstration we're going to look at creating storage pools. So what we have in Windows Server 2012, we have the storage space feature. What this is, it's a storage virtualization capability. It's built into Windows Server 2012 and also Windows 8. It's a feature that's available for both NTFS and REFS volumes. It gives us redundancy in pooled storage for numerous internal and external drives of differing sizes. We can use storage spaces to add physical disks to any type and size to a storage pool, and then create highly available virtual disks from the storage pool. The primary advantage of storage spaces is that we don't need to manage single disks, but we can manage multiple disks as one unit. So in order to do this, we click on File and Storage Services. What we're going to do here is just come to the top, click on Storage Pools, and what we'll then do is select our tasks. We'll create a new storage pool. We won't bother with the introduction screen again, so we'll select Next. And what we're going to do here is we're going to call this Storage Pool 1. Let's select Next. We'll select all of our disks to pool together and select Next. We'll then select Create, and what it'll do is it'll go away and it'll create our storage pool. Once our storage pool is up and running, the next thing to do will be to create our virtual disks. So what we'll do in the virtual disks, first off we'll select Storage Pool 1, then select our tasks. We'll then create a new virtual disk. Again, it brings us into a wizard, so what we'll do at this point here is select Next. Storage Pool 1 is the only pool we have, so again we'll select Next. And then in the case of specifying the virtual disk name, what we'll do here is we'll just call it Simple V Disk. That's all done, so we'll select Next. On our storage layout, what we'll do is we'll just select Simple, so we just want data striped across the physical disks. As it says here, it'll maximize capacity, increase throughput, but it will decrease reliability. If one disk dies, near enough they all die. So at that point there, we'll now select Next again. In the case of provisioning, we'll thin provision the disk, so we'll only use the space that we require to use, and select Next again. And then in the case of the size, we'll come in here and we'll specify 2 GB. Now we've done all that, we'll select Next, have a look at the confirmation, click Create, and it goes away and creates our virtual disk. Now that's all done, we'll select the Close button, and there you go, we now have a virtual disk. So now what we'll do is we'll create a volume on that disk, so we'll select Next. We'll select our Simple V disk and select Next. In the case of the size here, what we'll do is we'll just leave the default here and select Next again. In the case of the drive letter, what we'll do at this point here is we'll just leave it as drive letter F. What we'll do with our file system is we'll go for REFS, and what we'll do in the case of our volume label here is we'll just call it Simple Volume. Now that we've done that, we'll select Next, click Create, goes away now and it's creating the volume on our virtual disk. Click our Close button. What we'll now do here, just come into Windows Explorer, come to our computer, and what we can see now, we've got our F drive, and remember this is a virtual disk created within our storage pool. It's spanned across our physical disks, and what we now have is we have a high performance disk on our Windows Server 2012 system. And that's the end of this demonstration. Thanks very much.